Well, let's go back to the studio and we can hear from Shaun, from Nedum and Natalie.
Welcome back to Matchday Live. So it has finished at the Stadium of Light and it was Sunderland 0, Manchester City 0. So City have now played Sunderland 3 times on New Year's Day, lost 1, won 1 and drawn 1. So we've done it all there. We can see the scenes there from inside the Stadium of Light. So Sunderland now remain unbeaten at home in the Premier League this season. They've now had draws with Aston Villa, Arsenal and ourselves at home. So really showing their top flight mentality. Still joined in the studio by Shaun and by Nedum Onuoha. So we are now 4 points off the top of the league, 4 points off Arsenal after their statement victory against Aston Villa a few days ago. So you can see there Pep Guardiola walking off the pitch. Nedum, what do you think he's thinking right now?
I think for me, Pep's somebody that appreciates the difficulty of like winning league titles and moments like this in the season. I think he'll try and take some positives from it. He knows that it's not the be-all and end-all of everything, and they had to work very, very hard. I think on a different day, they probably do score at least 1 goal in that game. But the fact is they had to match Sunderland's fight, and they know, as we said, like Sunderland haven't lost a game away from at home this whole season. So I think he'll take the positives. He'll understand how difficult a spell this is now, and as soon as he's finished these 10,000 interviews he's going to have to do, it's Chelsea on the weekend. Just on to the next one.
Chelsea on the weekend. And can we just say that, we are, obviously, how highly I think of you as a pundit and how highly I think of you as a footballer and a person, Shaun. You two absolutely sucked at your predictions today.
Yeah,
really bad.
But what I would say, I don't know if you'd agree with this, Shaun, but if you say there are going to be a lot of goals, give you something to root for. If you were to say 0-0, then you sit here and you're grumpy for the whole game. So yeah, aim high.
Aim high. I was aiming high.
Exactly.
I was way off, I can tell you. But
you went 4-0 and then it went 3-2 if you weren't watching.
Yeah.
I'm probably being disrespectful to Sunderland because Sunderland showed really why they've, been undefeated at home. They got a lot of fight, a lot of tenacity, the spirit, the fans. A lot of that really helps them. So a difficult one, but we go again.
It's the first time all season at home in the Premier League that Sunderland have not scored. So, defensively, we've done, we've been really strong today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think from my perspective as well, I think City defensively were strong. They were winning the majority of their one-on-one battles. I thought Matchday Nunes did well. I thought the 2 centre-halves were battling. Yeah. I think the people in front had to work hard as well. And in fact, all around the pitch, because in some of those games, if you don't make your recovery run, Sunderland will thrive in that. But again, to sort of add to it, one of the reasons I think Sunderland went out there attacking best is because they had to suffer so much defending against City as well. And that saps up a lot of energy. You can see the pitch wasn't perfect in the game as well. So both sets of players, there's a spell, I think it was in the 85th minute. Here's a mistake, here's another mistake, here's another mistake, here's another mistake, because it's a tiring game. So, yeah I think it's not Sunderland's best attacking game, but the amount of confidence they can take from that game there and to know that it's still unbeaten at home going into January is it's very, very impressive.
Yeah, and another clean sheet for us, Shaun. Obviously, we had the game against Nottingham Forest prior to that, three Premier League games where we hadn't conceded. So 4 clean sheets out of the last 5 Premier League games is a defensive record to be proud of. Yes,
I think that is something that's one of the good points that we will take from the game. Pep will take from it, being able to keep a clean sheet. Obviously, Rodri be the other good point, positive point, coming in, getting some minutes, putting out fires here and there. But a clean sheet knows it takes a team. I know we'd look primarily at the defence and defensive midfield, but it takes a team to keep a clean sheet. So the times when they broke or countered on us, and players have to get back, all attacking players have to get back to make sure of keeping a clean sheet. Yeah.
Nedum, can you talk to me about tactically the formation that City were playing towards the end of the game? Because for the last 15-20 minutes, it felt like Josko Vardiol was a striker.
Yeah, he was for the most part, to be fair. Yeah, he was.
You're right.
But I think
I thought I was going crazy there.
Yeah, but in fairness, it wasn't that he started there, but because City had so much good possession in their attacking third, he could find himself in there. And I think the most important thing was that if he was inside, then Doku had to be outside and vice versa. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that sort of kept Sunderland at times confused about who it was going to be. I think it's Gertrude on that side and Hume, I believe, as well. They had to stay honest to their position. It doesn't matter if Vardiol is standing in the 9, because he's a left back, whatever, but he's playing essentially at this moment like the number 9, so you have to take it seriously. But out wide is Doku, so you've got to deal with that as well. Yeah. And it was good, because you saw Vardiol, his instincts are so good. He's had the shot that came off the post. He had the header, which he'd probably be disappointed to not score. but he's got a good sense of when to make those runs. And in fairness with Rodri in there, they play some good balls as well. So a formation is something that you see on a sheet of paper, but as the game develops, it can turn into whatever it needs to.
How do you rate Joško Gvardiol as a striker?
Well, he's a finisher. So if he gets good chances, if he has the time to have their strikes, then he's a good finisher. Certainly on chances outside the box. But they just really packed. Sunderland just packed it. Had 10 players back there, very little space. Pitch wasn't the best, so balls that you'd normally see us pass through the lines and players receiving those pockets. This is not an excuse, but just looking at it from where we're at, the pitch doesn't look great. But Gvardiol is a quality player. And again, players never really had the time. Probably taking 2 or 3 more shots on the edge of the box may have pulled players out a little bit, which may have created a little bit space. But we're talking in hindsight. I think Sunderland really deserve the credit because they played really well.
Thank you so much. So we're going to head over back now to the Stadium of Light where FG and Brownie are pitchside.
Full time from the Stadium of Light, and just as we started, 0-0. I mean, we predicted it at half-time. The game needed a little bit more. We got a little bit more in the final stages, but it was a little bit too late.
It was a tough game, wasn't it? The tempo that Sunderland played at was really high. Just at the end there, a few of those chances, Joško Gvardiol made the difference. That one when he came on, he just landed in the 6-yard area. He sort of got clipped. And there was a simple header that you just thought, here you go, goalkeeper, good save. Another chance, it went to Erling, then to Joško, he sort of tripped over, couldn't get away. A couple of blocked shots. It just wasn't meant to be, was it? They pushed us as well the other way, tested us defensively. But overall, is it a good point? You would say, well, yes, coming here because Sunderland haven't lost. But in the title race, when you want to be champions, when you come up against a team who've got 7 players missing, we needed to take all 3.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a missed opportunity for City, 100%. But me and you have been here before. We've been through a lot. As the majority of people watching Matchday Live, and definitely Nat in the studio as well, she'll know, we're so early on in this title race. The title race is not decided by dropping points at places like here. But from a City perspective, we would definitely have wanted all 3.
Yeah, you want all 3 because you want to close that gap. And I think we know because Arsenal haven't done it, then the pressure's on. So if you can tighten it up, if you can just literally jump above them, then that's going to be a miles better situation psychologically. But I think overall, I think we've got big games to come. The suspensions now is over, whereas a few players hanging around on the 4 bookings might have missed a game. So yeah, big games to come. The title race is on. Disappointment today, but overall when you've got a Christmas period, so you just can't take all the points. I mean, looking at it as well, away from home is something that we haven't really been as good as we need yet to go and be Premier League champions, but I think really it was still a decent performance.
A decent performance and a very positive one from Rodri, who played like he's been playing every week. He looked sharp, he was hungry, he was passing ranges, always bang on, and it's great to see the former Ballon d'Or winner back in the team.
Well, the big man's there, isn't he? I think what was impressive, FG, was the fact that he wasn't afraid to go and have a little challenge. He drove with the ball, tight positions. I think we circulate around the edge of the area we were trying to probe, but there was some driving runs forward as well. He's got his head up, he wants to play forward with tempo, and he's understanding his surroundings. So it's a wonderful to have him. I mean, it just tells you we're going for the title and we haven't really had Rodri. So really from there on, I feel he's going to get stronger and stronger. The more minutes we can get into him, the better. We can see, there might be a position for him and Nico as well at times, where it's not rather just one or the other.
And I'll tell you one thing as well, Chelsea coming up very, very soon. A big game at the Etihad.
Chelsea, they're going to get a reaction now, though, don't you?
This is what I was about. So big.
They would have warmed us up with a goal, wouldn't it?
They absolutely would have. But listen, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Great work as always. Happy New Year to you all. We'll see you at the Etihad, and much love to everyone in the studio as well.
Happy New Year, FG and Michael Brown. Thank you so much. So we are at the halfway point of the Premier League season. And there we go. Played 19, everybody. You can see Arsenal leading the top of the table there, 45 points. City on 41 points. As FG said, there's a long way to go in this title race. And of course, we still have to play Arsenal at home. That game taking place in April. Villa there on 39. So we remain 2 points ahead of Villa there. Then the drop there to Liverpool on 33. So the halfway point in the Premier League season. So before we look ahead to that Chelsea game, because I'm very much looking forward to getting both your opinions on Chelsea in just a second, sort of wrapping up today's games, what are the positives? Obviously, we mentioned the clean sheet, but are the positives you're taking from the game? Yeah,
Rodri coming back, getting minutes, look very good in terms of we know what he can do. As Brian was saying, he had some driving runs. His short passing's always good. Sniffing out trouble, seeing when the ball, where it's going to fall, anticipating that, whether it's heading the ball back or heading the ball forward. Great. He looked very agile as well. And whether, he seemed like he just brought a bit of energy. And I didn't anticipate him having that or showing that much energy, having been out for the time he's been out. So for me, that's a huge positive. Obviously, Doku was a threat going on that left side. But it was something that we were talking about during the game. When you go places and it's really cool and you come on as a sub, it burns your chest, the coldness, because you make a few runs and you're running and your teammates looking at you. I need you to go again, and you're like, I can't go. Your chest is burning, it's cold, and the first 10 minutes or so, we looked at Doku and we went, what's up with him? And the two of us just thinking, it's that coldness. That cold will get you. When you start, you're all right. But when you come on, it sort of hits you.
100%. I think as well with Doku coming on, like for Rodri, he's coming on at halftime. So he's got 15 minutes to get ready for the game. Doku probably did a little warm-up at halftime, sat down on his chair, got himself wrapped up. We've all been there. Then all of a sudden, oh, hang on, Savinho's gone off the pitch. Oh my God, I need to come on right now. Bang, that hit him so hard. But I think to piggyback on what Shaun was saying, like positives, that game there will be as hard an away game as you'll face between now and the end of the season. Playing against a side who do have a threat in attack but have all-out commitment to defend. They have a crowd that will allow them to do that, not put them under pressure to play a certain way or whatever. And City had to be robust, and I think today they were the better team in my opinion. Obviously the narrative and the story will be about Sunderland gaining the point, which is good for them. But on a different day, Savinho takes his chance, like other people take the chances that they have. So I think the positive is you've kept a clean sheet and basically handled Sunderland. And they've played in a manner whereby probably 7 or 8 times out of 10 you'd win that game. So you take a positives, only negatives are like, how is Savinho? How is Nico going into the weekend? But Rodri being back as well and some other players getting out there and making a difference. Like, these are positives. Nathan Ake finishing the game after looking like he needed to come off out in the 3rd minute. There are positives there for sure.
And of course, it's only a few days now until our next Premier League game. So Thursday night here, and we play again on Sunday, 4:30 kickoff against Chelsea, of course, in the Premier League at home. Matchday Live will be with you from 3:15. Kel will be in the studio inside the stadium, taking on Chelsea. So the first game after they have sacked their manager, Enzo Maresca. So he left Chelsea today. Of course, he won the Club World Cup with Chelsea in the summer. In fact, in November, he was named the Premier League Manager of the Month. But of course, a bad December for Chelsea, and who knows what's happened internally, but he is gone. So, Shaun, good or bad to play a team the first game after they sack their manager?
Yes, Chelsea are their team. I mean, they sit 5th. They're a team that they have this up and down. For them, they obviously will want to be slightly higher. It's one of them. Sometimes you get players who are not playing, feel a new manager come in and they get a lift. Somebody, whoever takes over in their game, makes one change or 2 changes, and all of a sudden they get a lift. Obviously, because they're playing City, they will be up for this game. They'll be looking forward to it. So, City are a team with, again, world-class players, champions that understand and know that when you go to a ground and you got a team that's going to have a new manager, then they know what it's all about and know what Chelsea's about. So City will go face the game and deal with it.
Who knows if they'll appoint someone between now and Sunday. Obviously, it's a really quick turnaround. And obviously, Willy Caballero is an assistant manager there, but I don't know who's stepping in for Chelsea in the interim. I'm sure we'll find out before Sunday. But I guess even if a manager came in tomorrow or Saturday, it's a strange period of time. Yeah, it 100% is. And the game on the weekend, they'll believe, if a new manager comes in, they'll believe that they can get a result there and win, but they won't necessarily be doing it with the principles that they hope to have in the long term for the club. So in some ways, it'll be interesting to see how Chelsea do try and play, because I think at times, like, whether it's good or bad that manager leaves, it kind of depends who you're asking.
because there could be some players who are probably happy to see him leave, but
Yeah.
others who are sad to see him leave. So what does the next stage look like? I think for Chelsea, they were getting to a point where I almost felt like they were gaining stability in a time where historically they've had like quite a few managers like come in and come out. But they had a style of play which seems to be working in November, which is why, he got manager of the month. But then that curse kicks in, and before you know it, he's lost his job by the 1st of January. So I think it'll be an interesting game because they have the quality. But the way the game is supposed to look for Chelsea might just be a bit different, because for the players now, a lot of them are almost to a certain extent going to go off the cuff. Because for the ones who didn't believe in the system before, they're probably going to feel relieved they don't have to play it anymore.
And for me, I think any manager goes in, the one thing you'll say to him is, look, I want you to go out there, forget the result, go out there and express yourself and enjoy yourself. That, for some players, will be like a breath of fresh air. So that could work in a positive from Chelsea's point of view. But at the same time, City, because of the players we have that play at the highest levels in the biggest tournaments, in the semi-finals and the finals, they understand this, and they understand that how Chelsea will react in terms of their players. So it will be interesting. But that I think that will be the main thing any manager will go in and say is, just go out there and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And almost like forget about the result, just try to take away. And if they were to get a result, it would be like, what a genius stroke they've made.
Yeah.
But the reality is, it'd be really difficult for them to get a result.
It's going to be really interesting because for a side like Chelsea now, it could go either way. Because, for example, I like a manager who lets everyone know how we're supposed to do it, because we'll all do it together in the same way. But then there are some who like to give people the freedom to go and express themselves, as Shaun said. And some of those people that express themselves, they do things which, you can't ever prepare for.
No.
Sometimes that's a positive, sometimes that's a negative. But if you're all pulling in the same direction, I think, as I say, from a City perspective, there's a reason why City and Arsenal are the top 2 teams in the Premier League right now. They've got the best goal difference, they've got the most points. They are the top 2, and anyone who comes to play against them, especially at home, it's going to be a tough game.
With Chelsea as well, obviously there's the subplots of the former Manchester City players that play for Chelsea currently. Starting 11, obviously, at the weekend was Cole Palmer and Liam Delap, and then on the bench was Tosin Adebayo as well. Obviously, all City Academy graduates. Feels like Cole Palmer has a good record for Chelsea against City.
Yeah, he does. But in fairness to Cole, he's got a good record for Chelsea against pretty much most people after 2 years in. So I wouldn't necessarily live and die by like what he's going to do, because he will have an impact in the game, because we're talking about like an England international, somebody who is on his day is one of the best in that position in not just Europe but world football. He will have an impact. And if anything, for me, as you say that, I like take pride in the fact that City's academy is still having such an influence around the country, because we talk about them today, but last week we could have been talking about Morgan Rogers. This the impact of the academy and the talent that they have. So they'll. I'm sure Cole will want to do well against City. He loves doing that. But I think more importantly, he'll probably want to try and get a win for his side, because they've been heading in the wrong direction.
Caicedo is
suspended
for the game as well, Shaun, and he's been a big player for them this season.
Yeah, I mean, he's been really solid for them in the midfield. They're, breaking up play. He's a really good player. Controls the midfield quite a bit. It'll be a tough game. It'll be a tough game, but he's a key player that they will have missing. And who knows whether Pep will start with a Rodri, because what I saw in the minutes I saw Rodri, I was just like, I was watching the game like this, and then I just went relaxed, because he just gives you this sense of he just sees things early. His passing, his understanding, even because of the game and the type of game it was, him reading balls that going in the air, where it's going to fall to get there, just to get in front of a player, to nod it to our player and keep possession. The little things, but they make a huge thing in terms of swinging your possession and keeping the ball and then building another attack. So it was really good to see him. And who knows, it could be a game for our 2 defensive midfielders to be there. But really good to see him. And I think be interesting to see if he does start, because it was a point when it was around 60 minutes. It looked like he was going to come on, which tells me that he's got at least 60 minutes in his tank, or that we believe he's got 60 minutes in his tank. So we'll see. We wait and see.
Interesting few days ahead. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, Shaun. It's been lovely to see you, lovely to spend New Year's Day with you.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much, as always. Thank you. And thank you, all of you for watching Matchday Live, and a Happy New Year again. So, do you know what? City start the 2026 year off unbeaten with a clean sheet. That is my positive spin on it. We are 4 points off the top of the league, halfway point of the season. There is a long way, and we know how good we are in the second half of the season as well. So, thank you very much for watching Matchday Live. We look forward to seeing you all ahead of the Chelsea game on on Sunday. And we are going to have a look now because Nathan Ake has been chatting to us after the game. So enjoy this from Nathan and we'll see you on Sunday.
Nathan, that was a really intense, hard-fought draw tonight. Can I just get your thoughts on the game overall?
Yeah, it was a tough battle. We knew over here it's always going to be tough. They have a great record at home. Obviously disappointed not to get the 3 points. I think first half we started a bit slow. Couldn't really penetrate them and go forward a lot and create. I think the manager hammered on that at half-time. Second half was better, created some very good chances, I think, and probably should have scored and could have scored. Disappointed in the end not to get the 3 points, but we keep going.
Like you say, just that element of frustration, given particularly the second half that we had so many chances and sort of camped ourselves in their half in the second half.
Yeah, and some really, really good chances. So, but in the end, we have to make sure we keep going. Second half was much more positive. I think it was good to see everyone fighting for every ball, and obviously the ref let a lot go, so we had to stand our ground, and I think that's what we did. But obviously, unlucky not to score.
I mean, you reference how tough it is to come here, and it's also an illustration of why the Premier League is probably the toughest league in the world a night like tonight.
Yeah, you can see, with the fans, the way every team battles and plays, it's every game it's going to be tough. So we just have to keep going, stay positive, and we go for the next one.
Really intense and physical out there all night for you guys, but how positive and great was it to see Rodri and Jeremy Doku back, because they're going to be really important going forward, aren't they?
100%, we're going to need everyone, we know that, but obviously Rodri, after being out for a while, it's great to see him back and he looked very good, and Jeremy as well. He hasn't trained too much, so to come on and play like he did is it's incredible, and it shows the depth we have now, so we just have to keep at it and keep going.
Important to stress also that we're still in a really positive position in the Premier League.
100%. In the end we are disappointed. We want to win every game, but there's still a long way to go, and we're going to keep pushing and keep going.
And finally, Nathan, this is the start of another really intense January, and we've got another huge game against Chelsea on Sunday. How much are you and the guys looking forward to that?
Yeah, a lot. I think now it's all about recovering, getting the legs back together, and make sure at home we play a good game against Chelsea, and we know what we have to do here.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank
Wish you all the best.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, Neil.
Cheers. Thank you.